Hello, welcome to the Smile Revolution. And I am Mindy Fradkin, also known as Princess Wow. Now, if you've never seen my show before, I didn't come up with this name. It was given to me. People just give me names. It's like over the years, I guess the way I look, and I was always saying wow all the time. I got the name Wow first from a theater director, and then I got the name Princess. I had a different name. I was performing a lot with my hats. I make these hats. And I was performing a lot with my hats. I called them hat happenings, which got a lot of media attention over the years. But the thing is that I didn't like that name, the Mad Hattress. That was given to me too. Well, anyway, the point is over the years, it just evolved. I had all the Miss Hollywood. I've been given all these names. So I ended up with Princess Wow because it felt like the best name. And it just felt right for me. So anyway, we raise awareness to the healing power of a genuine smile. Sincere smiles only apply. And but guess what I found out this week, which I never knew. I started this in 2005. The last time I saw my dad conscious, he gave me a big grin, and it changed my life for the better. When he like for the first time, there was like no judgment. Like I was so odd and different than him, and he was a businessman, and I don't know. He loved me, but it was like a lot of times he couldn't grasp how different I was. But anyway, the last smile, he was just totally, it was so, with love, with no conditions on it. And it changed my life for the better. And that's how this whole project started. And I had, let's see, I have a whole album of smile songs that I wrote with Roland Musa, my husband, my ex-husband now. This is for people I never knew who's watching. This is me. Well, a long time ago, actually in the 80s. That's the first hat I ever made, actually, and I was a wardrobe stylist in New York City. And so we have an album of smile songs. I always start with singing one of the songs, the first song we wrote together. But I asked to tell you, I found out this week that in 18th century Paris, there was a smile revolution, and there's a whole book that I found this week about this topic and I'll talk about it in a little bit, but it wasn't in style to smile until the mid 18th century in Paris. And I'll be talking about that in a little bit, but it's like fascinating because I never thought about it. And then all of a sudden I was Googling the smile revolution for some reason this week and found this information, which I'll be sharing with you soon. Well, my topic this week is all things new, which we have a new administration. I don't talk about politics, but everything feels very new, and every moment is new. And I'll be sharing some quotes about that. And wow is now. Now, if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to, who's there? Avery. Hi, Avery. Avery Stemple, he's a poet, and he submitted a smile poem or two for me. Maybe he'll send another one in at some point. So here's Avery. He's a great poet. Anyway, so I'll start with the Smile Revolution song. I walked into a cafe, smiled at my friends. They all smiled, and I realized I passed it on to them. The people who saw us smiled at our friends. They all smiled, and I realized I passed it on to them. Yes, a simple smile will do, round the world and back to you. It's called the smile revolution that goes round and back to you. So smile, 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 a simple smile will do. Smile, 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 it comes back to you. So don't forget to smile. Okay, so in 18th century Paris, it's hard to believe, but actually up until then, it was frowned upon to smile. It was only for the lower class, the plebeians they were called. The lower class smiled and giggled and laughed, And that was considered lower class. That was the lower class. The upper class, they did not believe in smiling. And then there was a painter who did a painting of a woman, and she showed her teeth and she was smiling. And that caused a huge controversy, and people were totally freaking out, and they like couldn't even look at her, and they would just like walk by it. I mean, it caused like a real big stir. Hard to believe, right? But that's really what happened. And then finally, I don't know. Actually, I don't have the information on me. I'll have to review it again. But I'm just talking off the cuff today about it. But I can tell you more the next show. I'll have some more information about it. But anyway, and then eventually, let's see. What happened was that painting happened, and then it's something turned in thought, I guess, and all of a sudden people decided that it was a good thing to smile, and then, you know, it was like contagious, and then it showed emotion, which they weren't allowed to show before. And anyway, there's Richard Skipper. Happy Saturday, Richard. I kind of like doing weekends now. So anyway, so that's what happened. And then they realized, hey, it's like, actually, it's a good thing. And then business deals were made. It was like much better vibe. And it was like a cool thing. And all of a sudden the tide turned and it became popular to smile. But at the beginning, it was like, well, men were allowed to smile, but then women weren't. I mean, it's like, here we go again with sexism. And women had to hide. If they felt like smiling or laughing, they would hide behind a fan. Interesting, right? So anyway, and then in the early, let's see, in the 1800s and early 1900s with photography, you never saw people smiling. If you see old photographs of your family, they weren't smiling. Well, photography was in its new stages, and it was like you had to wait a really long time for the photograph to happen. And so with the daguerreotype, I was a photography student and photographer for a long time. Anyway, so it was like the type of plates that they used. You had to wait a really long time for it to take the picture. So it was like nobody could smile for like a half an hour. So anyway, so it's just interesting, the history of how the smile unfolded. And so now, and then dentistry came in, you know, they didn't have, see, the thing is they were eating a lot of sugar and a lot of their teeth were black. It's like disgusting to talk about, but this is true. So that's part of the reason why they weren't smiling too, because they didn't want to show their teeth. And so what happened was, and the modern dentistry was born in Paris in the mid 1800s. And then people would go to Paris, like I think even George Washington, he had a Parisian dentist. And so it's like they did that. They perfected dentistry, and people started caring about their teeth, and then it was like the first toothbrush. I mean, it's really interesting. I never thought about this ever until this week. So I thought that was interesting to share on my show. So there was a smile revolution, and there's a book. It's the Smile Revolution, 18th Century Paris. Okay, so that's that. Now my next topic is, since we're talking about all things new, wow, it's now. And I have some quotes about time. And let's see, I might need to hold it. And I've got my Wowettes. I've got new Wowettes to show you all in a little bit too. And Steve Klinich poems, Smile poems, and William Blake, the poet and artist and printmaker from England from 1800s. Okay. Albert Einstein said, "For us who are convinced physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is only an illusion, however persistent." And Becca Levy, Yale University Social and Behavioral Sciences. "The challenge we had in this study was to enable participants to overcome the negative age stereotypes which they acquire from society as in everyday conversations and from television." Carl J. Wheats, "Progress towards spiritual perfection demands full and efficient use of the moment we call now." And then I have a quote here. Eckhart Tolle, "The Power of Now." "Time isn't precious at all because it's an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. That is precious indeed." And then I've got here, let's see, George Harrison, who I talked about in my last show. It's being here now that's important. There's no past and there's no future. Time is a very misleading thing. All there is ever is the now. And then Graham Greene, writer, playwright. Eternity is said not to be an extension of time, but an absence of time. And Jim Carrey, actor, comedian. You can spend your whole life worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here and the decisions we make in this moment. One more quote, John F. Kennedy. The great French Marshal Lyautey once asked his gardener to plant a tree. The gardener objected that the tree was slow growing and would not reach maturity for 100 years. The marshal replied, quote, in that case, there's no time to lose. Plant it this afternoon. Okay, so I wanted to share all that with you because I thought those were really good quotes. Okay, now, my next thing is, I'm going to show you now. Hold on one second. Oh, wait, I've got some banners here. Okay, I'm doing this. On the bottom here. Oh, my smile mug. If anybody wants a smile mug, there's I can do them with or without my logo, actually. Here's my smile balloons. May you give and receive many smiles, which actually it's popular now in our era to show your teeth and to smile. And it is contagious. And actually, it makes you look more attractive to smile. Everyone looks better when they smile. Well, actually, I wanted to show you. I forgot to show you. Now, look at this. I think that she needs a name. She has a crown, and she's learning to smile too, like I am. See, she's decided that she wants to smile too. So anyway, okay, so the next thing is, I'm going to show you my Wowettes. Then we'll go into poetry. And let's see. I need a name, though. If anybody can help me here. Here's one of my new Wowettes. Now, I've got 3 Wowettes, okay? Look at her. Isn't she amazing? Okay, so there's one of them. Okay, and I don't know, she's green. Well, the good thing is all my Wowettes have they're all different. They're not all Caucasian, which is good. Now, here's another one. And she is very beautiful, too. If anybody has any ideas, I got to come up with some names for my Wowettes. I think they're very wow. Now, this one, if you saw my show last time, I never know who's watching unless you make comments. Okay, so this is my first Wowette, and she's got hair like her mother. She's got her lavender and pink hair, and she's very beautiful. You see the bottom of her. Now, I didn't make these. I found a woman on eBay. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't she pretty? Anyway, if anybody has ideas, I'm working on ideas for names for the Wowettes. Okay, now, my next thing is, now we're going to go into Steve Kalinich and William Blake. We're going to go into some poetry now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Whoops. Love your mug. Okay, good. Laura has her mugs. Oh, she has 2 mugs, actually. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, they're fun. I like my mugs, too. Okay, now, hold on one second. I've got to go to, okay, here we go. Now, Steve Kalinich, if you've been watching my shows recently, I've been promoting him a lot since I met him last month, I think. It was his special day this week. And I went to, they had a virtual birthday party for him and a couple other friends. And so it was really fun. I hadn't been to a birthday party in a year, or at least. So it was fun. And so he was featured in American Songwriter, a whole big feature about his special day and how amazing he is. And inspiring. And so here's a video. He's a legendary poet, if you've never watched my show, and painter and songwriter. And he's worked with the Beach Boys and Paul McCartney, Brian May from Queen, and many, John Tiven, who they're going to be on my show next weekend. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, here he is doing a smile poem.
Don't be a grumpy dumpy. You don't have to frown. Put a smile on your face for the whole human race and turn the world around. That's it. Put a smile on your face for the whole human race and turn the world around.
Okay, that was a little smile song that he's not finished it. It was just like a short little ditty that he did, and he's going to finish it. He'll finish it at some point, but it was just a fun little song that he started to write. Okay, so now he wrote me a smile poem this week, which I'm going to share with you, and I'll put up his information. Okay, while I'm reading it. Okay, here it goes. Put good out in the world every day. Bring little ripples of peace into your daily life. Greet the stranger, smile, help, encourage silently. Be a better being. Do the good when no one is watching. Inner joy will emerge within you. You will feel the grace and live it. And then, let's see if I can find, wait a second. And then on AmericanSongwriter.com, the days of life. The days of life so quickly pass through muted time, through the endless stillness of space, through gentle joy and bitter pain. Silently they slip away. Each step we walk, each breath we take, we can live love, we can bring peace, we can be kind. The little things we do each day to help someone, like drying tears with hands of love, can mean so much, can heal a wound, can sometimes save a life. So each night before we go to sleep, think of the feelings we can share, the lives we can touch with hope, the words of tenderness that we can speak to one in need. Think of the good that we can do through the days of life. And that one he wrote in 2017. And AmericanSongwriter.com has a whole big, amazing, it says Happy Stevie Kalinich Day. If anybody wants to read, it's amazing. I'll put it on my website, on my Facebook page. Anyway, it's amazing tribute to him and how all the good that he does in LA, and he's in Los Angeles, and all the good that he does and inspires so many people, including me, and I hope you. Okay, so William Blake, I found a smile poem in a Valentine's Day book yesterday, and it's for Valentine's Day. So it was like, okay, so it's The Smile, it's called. There is a smile of love, and there is a smile of deceit, and there is a smile of smiles in which these two smiles meet. And there is a frown of hate, and there is a frown of disdain, and there is a frown of frowns, which you strive to forget in vain. For it sticks in the heart's deep core, and it sticks in the deep backbone, and no smile that ever was smiled, but only one smile alone, that betwixt the cradle and grave, it only once smold can be, but when it once is smiled, there's an end to all misery. I hope you understood that. And then William Blake said, to see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wildflower, hold eternity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. And then William Blake said, no bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. He who binds to himself a joy does the winged life destroy, but he who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. I just thought those were beautiful. And let's see. Okay, so I wanted to show you a picture of my mother, my sister, and I from the 90s. And of course, they're all wearing hats I made. And in the middle is my mother, and the red hat's my sister, if you can't tell, and all black is me. I do wear black occasionally. Actually, I'm wearing black today under this. I felt like getting dressed up today because this week there's so many. It just felt very new. And so I felt like getting dressed up and celebrating. And I it feels good to get dressed up, even if it's just for, not just, even if it's for my show and you all, I'm happy to do it. It feels good to get dressed up. Richard loves his mug too. Okay, Richard says he loves his mug too. Oh, good, Richard. I'm glad. I know it's a great mug, and anyway, it's fun. You don't. As I said, I can do it without my logo if you don't want my logo on it, and I can do it with just text on one side and the balloons on the other. But the mug is I love it too. And let's see. Do I have anything else for you today? My Mindy doll. I got to show you my Mindy doll. I never know who's on is a thing. Have you ever seen my show? No, this is my 93rd show. This is one of my Mindy dolls from my own likeness here. See, from a photo of me. That's me, and that's a hat I made. And I have a couple Mindy dolls. And Richard Skipper has a Mindy doll too. Oh, Laura said something else. Okay. Oh yeah. I mean, I do wear black. It's not like I never wear it. I'm wearing black today with what I have to have my colors on as well. But I do. Black's kind of fun. It's a very New York thing. And I used to wear black more. No, actually, well, yeah. But I actually, in the 90s, I was wearing a sea of color. And everyone else was in black. And got me on TV, Good Day New York, 4 times. Let's see. I got a New York Times, big article in the New York Times. It's like people would spot me walking down the street because I was wearing rainbow colors. I was wearing colored hair and everybody else was in black. So I kind of stood out and producers would stop me or a New York Times photographer. And I had a big hat box with like hand painted all over. So you couldn't miss me in New York. And so anyway, let's see what else. Oh, maybe I'll show you another hat. Well, this doesn't go with what I'm wearing, but I can show you another hat that I made. This is one of my favorite hats, actually. I love tall crowns, and I'm really into like the Mad Hatter look. So I just kind of like, and right now I'm really feeling like a tall crown. It's like, just feels really cool. It's very like Abraham Lincoln, like, I don't know, mid 1800s. Yeah, I just love this look. It's feeling very like now. Wow is now. So anyway, all we have is the now. And we will get past this pandemic, and it's actually starting to feel like, well, it's going to still be a while, but we will get back to, by the end of the year, by the fall. That's what it sounds like. It depends on a lot of factors. But Gumby wants to say hi, as always. Gumby always likes to come in to say hello in my show. And then my little flower. I need names for all these. I used to have some names for these people, these little fun things that I have, but I think I need to rename some things. So anyway, thanks for joining. If you're all still on, and this is my little clock, dancing, fun, joyful. And I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're still watching, I never know how long people watch too, since I know people are scrolling around. But anyway, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's new for me to put my show on my YouTube channel, so I don't have a lot of people watching there. But I'm trying to get more subscribers, and I'm working on getting more people over there too, because I'm working on that. It's like a new thing. And so anyway, next weekend, John Tiven and Stephen Kalinich will be I will be interviewing them. And John Tiven, if you don't know who he is a guitarist, producer, songwriter, and saxophonist. And he's worked with B.B. King, Frank Black, Wilson Pickett, Steve Cropper, Lucinda Williams, Willie Nelson. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, for 5 decades, he's been working with so many people. And he's down in Nashville now. Him and his wife, and they are both, she plays, they both are musicians. And anyway, so Stevie and John are teamed up, and they have a new CD together. They've been working together for a long time. They met through P.F. Sloan. If you don't know who that is, you'll find out more about P.F. Sloan. If you don't know, he had huge hits in the 60s. And that's how they all connected, through P.F. Sloan, and they went to India together. Anyway, so you'll hear about all the stuff next week if you're watching live or on replay. And thanks so much. And I hope you're safe and well, and that you have a good rest of your weekend wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for spending time with me and learning more about some great poets and more about smiling in the 18th century Paris, and about now smiling's in style, but actually it's, if you smile with love, it can just benefit the world. Even under a mask, you can still smile with your eyes and raise your eyebrows. And it's just about joy and being more joyful, which is innate in all of us. And really, we need more love and joy in the world, and more harmony and peace. And I love you all, and I will see you next week. Have a good weekend, and be well. Oh, somebody else is saying something. Okay. Hi, Tracy Ann. Okay. And one more thing is Stevie. Okay. So there's your information, and I'll see you next week. Bye.